Welcome back to Saymore, everyone. This is season 2, and I am still your host, that is Kim, and the founder of My Mind, where everything is about mind and energy. In season 2, as you know, we're speaking about everything that is alternative healing, not the normal medication, but different ways that you can nurture your soul, you can nurture your body, you can nurture the thoughts and the emotions. And today I have with me Dr. Susann joining us. I'm going to read out to you. As you know, I always send a little questionnaire to my guests. So I asked Dr. Susann, what is your uniqueness? And she says, regardless of whatever I'm working on or as, holistic integrative is her style. She's a holistic dentist and a consultant, and she's always connecting directly to the soul. Now, isn't that the newest and the fun, best approach ever? Dr. Susann, welcome to Saymore.
Thank you very much for having me here, Kim, and for giving me this opportunity to say something more about this approach. So the integrative holistic approach to illness, symptoms, or whatever went out of order is the most natural way to help people to regain their health. And this integrative holistic means opening awareness, all encompassing, to connections within us and to the connections to everything and everyone around
us.
And
so,
it's even
Dr.
interesting.
Susann, I have a question before you go and dive us into everything deeper. I am hearing for the first time a dentist talking even about integrating soul connections in their work. How did that begin to happen?
Yeah, actually, how it began, it was when I started treating patients. And for instance, when the tooth has nothing, as no cavity, the gum is all well, and they have strong pain. So then in this way, I discovered my gift, that I'm able to connect with the soul according to what is requested. And in this way, I know what is this about. Also, for instance, the teeth, every tooth represents a part of our soul.
Wow.
And there is a story. And when people, when they have a smile on their face, I tell them, you know, when someone is found, because of the teeth, they know when this one lived, how this one lived. Even the gender is stored in the teeth. So everything can be recognized. And because the teeth are the strongest physical essence, what represents our soul. And it's even important, as this is my main goal, to make people aware, not having a soul. I am the soul. And with the soul-body relationship and connecting and merging, then we become one, and we become true to ourselves, express ourselves in a true way, and understanding ourselves. Also when pain appears, for instance, or even sensitivity, then it's different from going against it. It's about understanding it. And when the consciousness of the soul and the human mindset, when it's aligning, then healing is happening immediately.
Because I love everything you've said, Dr. Susann. I'm going to jump in here. When you said each tooth is connected to a certain organ on our body, take us a little deeper into that.
Also, it's true that each tooth is even related to organs, but the main approach of mine is that it's related to a part of your soul. Also important is to understand, when we go from the connection from the teeth to the organs, we are still in the physical level. But if we dive deeper, you know, that there is a soul inside of us. It's very easy to explain, you know, when the soul has left this body, the body starts to rot after a few days.
Yeah.
So this relationship, soul, body, and even mind is, for instance, good explainable with this metaphor with the car and the driver. you know,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
the car is the body, the driver is the soul, and the petrol what you put in is the mindset, you know. So
Wonderful.
as we need to understand that this is a unit. And what's even as for instance in Germany we have this we say for medications medicamente. So this comes from Latin language. Medica means healing and mente means the mind. So healing the mind.
Wow.
So because we all have different perceptions, and because of this perception, we live different attitudes and behavior. And this is influencing us. So if something has hurt us and it's still lingering in our soul, as the related emotion is injured, is traumatized, then it reveals, for instance, in a cavity in a tooth or in a related organ, but mainly because the teeth or the security box, it comes with the teeth. So when we understand this and do the right treatment, we can avoid chain reactions of symptoms they would lead to a disease. But when it has already happened, then the root has to be understood. Also, I say this again, it's never about going against something, against a symptom, against this disease. It's about understanding what is this about, what was the cause, what was, for instance, the event, or what is the injured emotion. And when this injured emotion gets understood, embraced, and the related feeling, then everything turns back into its divine norm, into its natural order.
So that's a very beautiful, very actual integrative approach to life. What happens when, we're unaware of this, Dr. Susan, and, you remove a tooth, you remove a wisdom tooth. I have all my wisdom teeth removed. Am I lacking some connection?
No.
Good,
Actually,
thank you. I just didn't want to hear it.
so, how to say it? Also, for instance, the wisdom tooth is related to our heart. So, and that's why I recommend to everyone to keep this and really to understand their own heart, because the heart is the main organ what represents our soul. And it's even proven that in the heart there are like 40,000 neural cells, also thinking cells, and they trigger in every second inputs, as they put inputs to our brain. And so, but to come back to your question, when it's removed, it's not that it's really removed, but the topic, what is behind, is not yet understood. So this means that life will bring you different opportunities, different situations, that you start understand this. But this part of the security is gone, so it can reveal right away through something. That's why it's good to how to say, go back and to ask what really has hurt me, what is this, what kind of emotion is this, what still has to be taken care of.
Right.
And there is a saying.
Dr. Susan, again, I'm going to jump in here and ask you a question. This is such interesting perspective. Are you saying that there is most likely a connection that when someone is going through something emotionally and they're ignoring it or they're suppressing it, apart from it manifesting in different parts of the body as pain, does it also manifest within the teeth as cavity, as a pain, as dry gums?
Yes.
Tell me more. Tell me more. How does one recognize that through their mouth hygiene, that everything on the inside, from a soul level inside, is in a little bit of an alignment and balance?
Also the soul is a construct of emotions, different emotions. So, and then when the emotion is not balanced, it shows up, for instance, through sensitivity or then through pain. And when this is ignored or suppressed through painkillers or chemical mouthwash in this, then it goes deeper in the cellular level and appears as a disease. So it's just how to say, everyone is unique, everyone is special. And my God-given gift is that I talk right away with the soul. As I say always, your human mindset, it's not so from interest for me. It's for you, that you can see, that you can speak, that you can hear, as it's very important. You know, that this let us be human beings. But the main expressor of ourselves is the heart, because this one, that's why we say it comes from the heart, you know. This is where the soul reveals itself. So, and I have this capability to translate these vibrations coming from the soul into words, so that people, when they are not connected with their soul, that I tell them, what is this about? That's just me, you know. So I hear this, as like others, I know it's about horses, that they can talk with horses or with animals in general, and I can talk with the soul, whatever soul it is. As I can translate vibrations, I hear them, you know, so, and I translate them.
So tell me, Dr. Susann, I'm sure, you know, you might be getting a lot of questions that, hey, what should I do for my, you know, oral hygiene? What are the practices at a physical layer that we can do that also transcends into bringing that balance, again, of an aligned, happy, integrated soul?
That's a very nice question. As it starts to treat your mouth in a natural way. Also even Hippocrates said our health starts in our mouth. And I, for instance, in the morning, I don't brush my teeth at all. I do oil pulling. Also I take a sip of coconut oil, but you can use any natural cold pressed oil. I put this in my mouth and then pull this through my teeth like this. Also you should do this for 10-20 minutes. But if it's too long for someone, then just start with 3-4 minutes, that you get used to this. And because of physical laws, the body gets detoxified and nourished. Because in the oil, there is a high level of nutrients. And in the morning, in the body is a low level. So it wants to equalize the concentration. So the nutrients, also like essential oils, trace elements, minerals, go in the body. And vice versa, in the body is a high level of toxins in the morning. So in the oil is like nothing in this natural cold pressed oil. So the toxins go in the oil. So you detoxify your body and nourish it. And then you have to spit this in the waste when you are finished with this process, and rinse with warm water. So, and then the teeth are fully clean. And in the evening, I brush my teeth, and I use also one day alkaline salt. You can use, for instance, bicarbonate powder or baking soda, and put a little bit in a glass of water, and then I brush my teeth, always from the gum to the teeth. Also never do like this, always from the gum to the teeth, you know, like this. And if you do this more precise, then you put the brush between the gum and the teeth, you shake it, and then you turn around, always to the gum, direction to the gum, shake it, turn around, and then directly from the gum to the teeth, because the gum represents our feelings, and we have to take care about them. So if you brush, you strengthen the tissue, because mainly it consists of cells. So if you brush this way directly from the gum, then fibers grow. So you have stability in your gum. Wow. And then you, of course, you harmonize your feelings, because then you react in a different way.
Wow, wow, wow. I love this segment.
Also no mouthwash at all, no toothpaste at all.
Yes,
and
I
even when
have done the you know, the oil pulling, and I don't know when the oil got over, I haven't ordered the new one, but that reminds me, I would love the freshness in your mouth, and when I would look at my tongue after an oil pulling, it would be this, just this cleaned, I wouldn't say radiant, but yeah, it just looked fresh and healthy. I have another question for you, Dr. Susann. What happens? What is the indicative message when gums begin to kind of loosen up from the teeth?
Yeah, this is you disconnect from your own feelings. You function instead of living your life, you know. Also this approach as a dentist, I love this to explain this because everything reveals in a very strong way, but it's related to everything. You know, if you would come with a stomach pain, I would tell you, what is this about? You know, for instance, the stomach is our center, is if you know about chakra, it's the third chakra. So if you are more, as if someone is too much business oriented, the center shifts to the left side. So it has to come back, you know, that you are really connected. And in a deeper, in a spiritual way, it's even about your own soul star, the solar plexus, you know, behind, so that you're connected with your true self, because it's nourishing you. So when people ask me if I read, I said I read my body. Every cell is a book. I have here a whole library, you know. I just listen. I listen to myself. I listen to my soul. I listen to this body. I listen to the divine. So I take care about my mindset, glorifying, you know, so, and about the body with purifying it. So it's a daily routine. And I observe my feelings. So if something, how to say, if worries would come up, for instance, you know, or anxiety, people, they deal often in these days with anxiety, feel it, allow and accept that you feel this related feeling to anxiety. So the words are saved in our brain, but the feelings, they live in our body. So they feel why it comes in their mind, anxiety, because the anxiety shows itself. So, and when you have it, then do the following: give it space, give it space. What's happening? It gets diluted, you know, it calms down. So that's just do this daily, whatever it is. If this is happiness or sadness, give it space, and everything turns back to the way it should be.
Amazing. For everyone listening, I'm going to give you now the formal introduction. So Dr. Susann works as the integrative dentist in Dubai. Yay, Dubai. I love Dubai. For 20 years, she's practiced in her own dental clinics in Germany. She graduated from Medical Academy, Technical University in Dresden. Besides her work as a dentist, she is devoted to help people, which you clearly sing right now, to improve their life health-wise, but also in family, personal, and the awareness bit. Because of a specific gift to interact directly with the soul, due to, based on your request, you get more and more connected with your soul, and therefore you experience your purpose, why you are created, and fulfill your mission here on earth. I love that so much, Dr. Susann. Let me ask you a couple of, if you can share with us any examples, any stories where someone comes to you for their teeth, their cavity, their root canal, what message did you channel from their soul that when they started, addressing that and started healing that, all their pain began to diminish or, completely leave?
Yeah, your question is touching me now. So I go now really deep, So as I said, I'm able to translate the vibrations of the soul and frequencies, it's physics. Also, before I say like 2 examples, I have to say this, that really everyone understands me. As in 1984, 2 physicists, Carlo Rubbia and Simon van der Meer, they could prove that only 1 billionth part of us is mass. Anything else is information. So, and this information I'm able to understand. So, also they got the Nobel Prize in physics for this. And for instance, 2 examples. One example is, I remember this very clear. There came a young lady with a wisdom tooth pain. And actually, it was not the wisdom tooth. Mainly, it's not the wisdom tooth itself. It's the related gum around this tooth. and it was strongly inflamed. And she told me, oh, she has such a strong pain, and she has this now for 1 week. And someone told her that she can come to me. So, and then I connected with this, and the gum was even open, you know, it was not only inflamed, it was really open. It was really something strong. So I connected with this topic, and it came. So I asked her about her grandma, the one she already passed away. And she said, yes, we were very close. And I told her, as I said in the beginning, the soul lives in the body. And when we say this one is dead, it's that the soul has left the body, but it's still there. So, and so the soul of the grandma wanted to connect to her to help her through life. And I told her this, I explained everything to her. I told her how to connect, because we are always connected. We are all divinely created. You know, this oneness has to be understood, regardless how we appear. And then she looked at me after I have explained everything to her and connected her to her grandma. And then she looked at me and she said, that's weird. I don't have any pain anymore. So the pain, as I said, when the human mindset and the consciousness of the soul is aligned, as when it's understood as a human being, but what the soul wants us to tell, then there is no need anymore to send pain. And even if the gum was still the same, there was no pain at all anymore. And that's not a single
that's beautiful, because
example.
the body is only trying to gain our attention, whether it's the mind or it's any other pain, is just trying to gain our attention and say, hey, do you know what's stored in here? Do you know what's, incomplete in here? What's a closed loop you have?
So there are different possibilities. This is one. Then that something appeared what we have experienced before this lifetime. Or it can be something very easy, you know, as for instance, there are laws, as God told me about the laws and the teeth. As for instance, the right side is related to the past, to female topics, and to personal life issues. The left side is about male topics, the future and the professional life. So when someone comes, as for instance, with pain or sensitivity, left side up, so then and as I said, I translated this. I said, okay, what's going on in your life? What kind of voice do you have for according to your professional life? Oh, this and this and this happened. And then I say everything is always good, you know? As we have a destined path, and it's up to us to accept this or to struggle with this. So with acceptance, then of course I let them feel. I say, where do you feel your worries? Speak to your body, that it reveals the feeling of worries to you. Then they feel something. And then I say, give it space, give it space. And when this is not enough, then you can even ask, as you have to talk with yourself. You can, this is your own feeling, you know? So you can ask this feeling, what do you need? Also for instance, freedom. Okay, I accept and respect this. And then you have to ask one more time, what do you really need? The recognition of being loved. And then this energy and information of being loved, I allow that this goes into this feeling, and then it's neutralizing. And the amazing thing, regardless if this is a tooth pain or sensitivity or pain in your body, the pain fades away because the feeling is understood.
This is just so incredibly informative, not at just a physical, intellectual level, but it just makes the soul feel like, hey, somebody knows. So, Dr. Susann, thank you so much. Please share with my listeners and our viewers on YouTube, where can they find you? What is it that they can reach out to you for? If people in Dubai can definitely come and physically see you, but people all around the world, if they want to have a consult with you, is that possible? If they want to have a chat with you, where can they find you?
As I would say, the best is email. you know, to email me directly when they have concerns or questions how to approach this, and then the Zoom call can be arranged. My email, I don't know, you post this then, or I should
Yes, I
say
will
this?
put it on. You can say it, but
You know,
everything.
also it's Dr Susann, also DRSUSANN 136@gmail.com, or my Instagram account. It's holistic_dentist_Dubai. Yeah, in this way I'm reachable.
Perfect.
Because I renew my website right now. There is it's all in process, and it will take a while. And yeah, to reach people more precisely. And really, my prayer for everyone of you who is listening is that you use your human mindset in the right way. The mindset, maybe it will surprise you what I say now. It's not about thinking. The mindset is the facilitator of the information, what comes from your soul, from the divine, and from your body. And because when the information reaches the mindset, that's why you can act, that's why you can speak, that's why you can hear, see, and everything. Also everything what I say, I don't think about one word, I just let it flow according to what is asked. And everyone can reach this.
That's
if you are willing to do so, really to live up to your purpose, why you were created. And in this way, we enhance each other's life. Because no one is superior, no one is inferior, no one is equal either. We can't compare to each other. We just have to appreciate, respect each other, and in a higher level, love each other and understanding each other. Because everyone has a different perception.
I love that you said no one is even equal because everyone is unique. So you're not the same.
So we all have specific gifts and we all need each other. It's like a big puzzle picture, and everyone has a position there. And when one piece is missing, it's disturbing the eye. So everyone is needed. Everyone is loved. Because without being loved, you would not exist. And this is so important to understand this.
Wow.
And to feel it.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Thank you, Dr. Susann, so much for coming on.
Thank you very much.
And I am so happy to have this conversation. I remember when I saw your, when we started chatting, I'm like, where do I put Dr. Susann? Until I read your question, I'm like, oh my God, yes, it is alternative healing. Thank you so much for your wisdom, your channeling on this session. I think I remember very specifically when I asked you the gums loosening, I had this entire 3 teeth that was super loosened. And now in hindsight, I remember that was a stage of my life where there was a detachment of who I was as a person and where my soul was sitting at some beach. It's like I was not even embodied into who I was. And that clearly reflected in my gum health. And today, when I look back at, daily practices, that entire alignment, consciousness, intentional living, automatically oral health change. So it makes so much of sense in every single way. Everybody listening, I'm sure they're completely wowed by this as much as I am. So thank you once again for joining us on Saymore. Everybody listening and watching us, go onto the other platforms so that you can enjoy looking at our faces as well. All the information, even Dr. Susann's website that is under construction, we're going to put it in here because this information is here forever. Dr. Susann, before you leave, the podcast is called Say More. What, according to you, should people be saying more about?
What about me should be said more?
No, what should people be saying more about? What should they be talking more about? About compassion, about because it starts within you.
If you feel yourself, you feel the other one. And before you speak about someone, feel yourself. What does it make with you? And be aware that every word, what you say, you inform yourself. Because the vocal cords here, they vibrate and they inform our own skeleton. And then it goes in the cellular level. So everything what we speak about, we say to ourselves. And if everyone is recognizing this, then I guess the spoken word is chosen more carefully. And you see even my face, and then your soul is happy because you start to understand that everything what is happening to you is about unsolved problems, but it's happening for you if you start to understand being a human being, acting as a warm-hearted being kind-hearted, being supportive for yourself and for others, really embracing life.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, that is for this episode, Dr. Susann. Once again, thank you for joining us. We'll talk very soon. Thank you, everyone that's tuned in once again. See you in the next episode. Until then.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Yes. Live a wonderful, big, intentional life. Bye for now.
Stay blessed.